What's up guys? For today's video, pag-uusapan natin ang latest project ni Slater Young na The Rise at Monterrasas. Kaya interested ka, panoorin mo ang video na to.
We are going to finally reveal to you a project that we've been working on for so long. Pero guys, seeing it right now with all the renders and this scale model that we'll show you today makes it all worth it. This is The Rise at Monterrasas.
Wow! Kaya ano? Galing! Parang wala pa akong nakitang ganitong project sa Pilipinas. Meron na ba?
Okay, so before we actually do a reveal of the project, pag-usapan muna natin yung backstory behind this entire development because it's very interesting, especially because we are building it on the side of the mountain. So we had like...
building on the side of a mountain. Oh! So pag nabibuild ka ng structure on the side of a mountain, marami kang dapat i-consider before constructing it. So ano-ano ba to? Number one is foundation. So ang foundation guys, yun yung pinaka-complex and difficult task pag nagbe-build ka ng structure on the side of a mountain. Dahil syempre, ayaw mo namang mag-collapse yung bahay mo, di ba? And also, in terms of budget, malaking part ng budget mong gugugulin mo for building the foundation. And also, kailangan mo consider kung kailangan mo bang mag-drill or mag-blast ng mga rocks. Kasi guys, pag binibuild mo yung foundation mo, pwedeng may mga big boulders or rocks dyan sa tabi ng mountain. So, kailangan mo yung alisin bago mo ma-build yung foundation mo. So, ano pang mga steps na pwede mong gamitin? Typically, pwede mong gamitin ang drilling and blasting. So basically, kung may rock na sa gabal sa area mo, so iba-blast mo yan. So una, i-drill mo yan. Pag drill mo yan, ipapasok mo din yung detonator. Then na-connecta doon yung mga explosives mo. Then after nyan, yun, papasabugin mo na yan. Although, tong process na to can have like vibration issues and also noise problems, but pwede mo na may mitigate. But ang point dyan guys is kung may ma-encounter ka na mga malaking bato dyan sa area mo, kailangan mo talaga yung alisin para syempre, ma-install mo ng maayos yung foundation ng structure mo. Okay guys, patuloy tayo.
3 pillars in mind when we were designing this. We wanted to be architecturally forward, something that Cebu or the Philippines has never seen before. We wanted it to be not just maganda tingnan, pero very usable din and may added benefit to the user. And lastly, because we're building on a mountainside, we want the project to be as sustainable as possible. And we've had several
sustainable as possible. Bitaw, no? Trend na kasi yan ngayon, guys. Especially sa mga residential houses. Kasi kung gagawin mo sustainable yung bahay mo, less energy yung magagamit mo and less water consumption. Kung mababa yung dalawang yun, syempre, less bills ang babayaran mo, di ba?
Several iterations to get to this point. This whole thing actually took us maybe around 300 different versions. So these were some of our past designs. And if you see right
okay. So typical vertical buildings, okay.
Here, it looks like any other project. It doesn't hit those pillars na gusto namin. You can even see na may mga retaining walls dito, meaning in the original design, carved out the mountain.
So nabanggit dito ang retaining walls. Ano bang retaining walls? So yung retaining walls, yung structural support na nagpre-prevent ng mga lupa or ng mga bato from falling or collapsing sa area na kung saan ka magbibuild ng bahay mo. So basically, it prevents mga landslide, mudslide, and also mga soil runoff. Kung wala to guys, mahugno dyan ang balay. So ano bang dapat i-consider mo when constructing your retaining walls? First is determine the type of soil on that area. So syempre, kailangan mo ng geotechnical engineer na magde-determine kung anong type of soil ang nasa site na yan. So siya yung magta-test and magsa-study ng properties of soil and rocks on that area. And yun yung gagamitin niya to design the foundation, retaining wall structures, ganun. So typical type of soil na ideal sa ganito mga construction is mga gravel, silt, sand, ganyan. Dahil yung water is nagsisip through sa kanila and they can carry higher loads. However guys, kung mga clay type of area naman, medyo challenging dahil nga nagsaswell up siya ba, ibig sabihin pag may tubig, ina-absorb niya yung water and nag-expand yung volume niya. So pwede niyang ma-damage yung foundation natin. Aside from that is proper drainage. Ayaw nating mag-pool yung water sa palibot ng retaining walls mo. So, kailangan mo i-identify yung mga potential water sources sa area na yan. And kailangan mo mag-build ng drainage system na nagpre-prevent ng tubig na pumunta sa retaining wall mo. Also guys, may tinatawag ng mga flood maps. Merong 50-year flood map, 100-year flood map. So, ginagamit yan for new constructions. Although may slope yung mountain, syempre, buti nang sigurado ka, diba? So, yung flood map na yan, dun mo malalaman saan yung flood zone, boundaries ng flood area, and yung base flood elevation. So, importanteng kinukonsider mo rin yan. Okay guys, patuloy tayo.
Time na buksan na natin yung project natin. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rise at Monteranas.
Wow, galing nga eh. Ganda nung nila no model. Gaano kaya katagal nilang ginawa to?
This is what we've been working on for so long. We were able to offer for the Rise. Not only does it look good, it has all the advantages of a home with the advantages of condominium living. But
condominium living pala. So, di ba pag condo, you own the house but not the land? Di ba ganun yun? Guys, comment down below. Confirm nyo nga kung ganun ba yun sa condo. Pagkakaalam ko ganun yun eh.
Nandito kami, di ba? How do we protect our privacy right here? Itong strip na to, itong green strip right outside was placed. It's not only just to be as green as possible, but it's also a conscious design effort to protect the privacy of the residents. By doing this strip also, of greenery, we are able to give back towards the mountain 1 hectare of greenery. So just to give that
1 hectare of greenery. So, syempre guys, pag may mga ganitong mga proyekto, hindi natin mawawala talaga na maapektuhan yung flora and fauna sa area na yan. So sa ganitong mga project guys, may tinatawag na environmental impact analysis or environmental impact assessment. Bale, pre-prepare to ng mga public agencies para ma-evaluate yung mga environmental impact ng ganitong mga project. And usually, ginagamit to para makapag-decide yung authorities kung papayagan ba nila ma-push through tong project na to. So paano ba ang process niyan? So first, ini-determine ng public agency kung kailangan mo ng environmental impact analysis. Kung kailangan, then kailangan mo na gawin yung report. And sa report yan guys, pinapublish rin pala yan siya. So open yan for public para kung meron mga concerns, opinions ng public, ang community, is ma-share nilang kanilang mga hinaing for this project. And that's the time na magde-decide ng government entities. So, gamit yung report and also yung opinion ng public, doon na sila magde-decide kung pwede bang i-push through ang project na to. So, ano bang meron sa mga report na to? So, first, dyan mo nilalagay kung ano mga project description, gaano kalaki ang project mo, square footage, kung residential areas, how many dwelling units, and also meron mga environmental checklist. So, first, paano na-apekto na air quality? Kailangan mong ilagay kung ilang cubic yards of soil yung i-export mo dyan. Also, ano mga biological resources ang maapektuhan? Kung ilang punong puputulin mo. Aside from that, historical resources. So, meron bang mga historical site dyan? Mga buildings, structures, or historical objects na kailangan mo i-keep. And also, wildlife. So, paano maapektuhan ng wildlife? For example, maapektuhan ba yung mga nesting period ng migratory birds? Mga ganun. So, yun yung mga checklist na kinukonsider mo sa mga environmental impact report. So, ano yan guys? Kote? Yung, tawag na to? Sobrang extensive na process. So, it takes so much time to prepare these kinds of report. Naalala ko dito sa amin may project yung developer na bale gusto niya mag-construct ng 1,200 na house sa mountain, sa hills. So it took 20 years guys bago yun na-approve. So it takes a lot of time, di ba? So ang nangyari, nag-meet halfway yung government and yung developer. So yung half ng hills is dun yung pwedeng i-develop ng developer. Yung other half naman is kinip para preserve ang plant and animal life. So ginawa rin nila yung hiking trails na open for public. On the other hand naman guys, ang good thing yan is yung property taxes. Kasi syempre kung may new development, may new bahay, makakuha ng taxes dyan, di ba? Property taxes. So, saan mo pwede gamitin yung property taxes? Of course, for the betterment of the community. So, win-win situation sa dalawa.
Speaking of greenery and sustainability, this was something that's very smart that was done by one of our consultants. So, this would be very expensive to maintain, to water. So, we actually designed the Rise to have an irrigation system similar to those in mga farms. So, this entire building will be collecting all the rainwater to a tank down below, and then meron tayong irrigation system. It's a drip irrigation system that makes the entire strip of garden in front of you virtually maintenance free. So,
oh, smart. Bright no? Bright. So guys, drip irrigation system, tulad ng sinabi ni Engineer Slater. Tulad ng sinabi ni Engineer Slater, typically ginagamit sa mga nursing area, sa farm. So ginagamit na rin to sa mga residential areas. So imbes na sprinklers yung gamitin mo, di ba nakita yung sprinklers parang kalas sa tubig. So itong drip irrigation system, nasa ilalim ng lupa yung mga tubes, tapos may mga emitter siya. So diretso na sa ugat yung mga tubig. So less tubig yung nagamit mo, di ba? And mas efficient tong procedure na to.
Going to the left, this driveway right here would lead you to mga parking spaces natin dito sa baba. All the parking spaces of the Rise will have provisions for electric car charging. Lahat, hindi siya charging station. Each and every parking slot, meron yan.
Oh, nice. EV. Nice EV charging stations. Share ko rin pala dito sa California rin, may EV mandate na pag 2035, kailangan ang lahat ng new cars na ibebenta is either hybrid, EV, or hydrogen fueled. So, para syempre, di ba, ma-reduce yung pollution sa environment. Patuloy tayo.
So, may tanong si John kung paano daw mag-access sa bahay. I think he's referring to, usually may elevator tayo na up and down, di ba? With this one, we look all over the world, to be honest, to find a supplier for inclined lifts. So, yung elevator na nakaslant. So, yung
incline elevator. Nakasakay na ba ako ng incline elevator? Tama, sa downtown dito sa amin. Nagbayad ata kami ng $1 noon kasi tourist spot yun eh. Pero hindi siya elevator, tram siya. So tingin ko same procedure, same method ang ginagamit yan for incline tram tsaka incline elevator. So guys, pag nag-install ka ng mga inclined elevator, tulad ng mga retaining wall kanina, kailangan mo consider yung type of soil sa area na yan. Pag alam mo na yung mga soil properties mo, then madidesign mo ng mga foundation and footings mo. Bakit ba yun importante? Syempre, yun yung magsusupport ng mga elevator tracks at guide rails mo. Then after yan, doon mo na-install yung mismong elevator.
Elevator dito will actually, instead of going up and down, nakaslant to siya. It's embedded into the mountain, but as a normal user, hindi mo mafe-feel yung difference. It's just like any other normal elevator, but yung special natin dito is it acts more like a funicular, yung parang train, versus an ordinary elevator. So we have, I think, about 6 of that in this entire development. So let's talk about the unit offerings because this is where
Okay, unit offerings ni pinag-uusapan niya. So guys, sa totoo lang, napakagandang project nito. Napaka out of the box. I mean, hindi siya typical sa Pilipinas, di ba? And also, napakagaling talaga nito ni Slater Yang. Idol ko to eh. Yung Skyfarm, pinapanood ko. And also, kahit nung before pa sa PBB. So guys, napakagandang tong project na to. Napakatalino na nag-design nito. Ito rin si Engineer Slater Yang. Idol. Ay, ang galing-galing. So in short, this type of projects, complex siya, hindi siya typical, but it's still possible. Of course, meron tayong mga concerns about environmental impact and also paano kung magka-earthquake, landslide, something like that. But guys, before to makonstruct ng itong mga project, na-solve yan guys. Na-design na ng mga engineer na dapat ganito ang foundation mo, ganitong retaining wall mo, ganitong structures mo para maging safe tong structure na to. And also, as members of the community, kailangan aware rin tayo sa ganitong mga project para at least mavo-voice out natin yung mga opinions natin. And i-consider yan ng mga government agencies kung ipo-push through nila itong ganitong mga type of projects. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Kung nagustuhan mong video na to, please hit that like button and see you in the next video. Bye!